much information. And guys, just, just give us a little bit of grace. Housekeeping, we're going to try and keep it under like 3 minutes. So Tracy's going to talk really, really, really fast. Okay, go.
Okay, so this is going to be a test. All right, I'm just going to jump right in. Why not? There's not actually too much that I want to talk in terms of like calls and things like that for housekeeping. So I'll just reiterate. So we have an Ignite team call tomorrow, 4 p.m. PST. And Morgan is going to be co-leading this. So hop on that if you can tomorrow, you guys. We also have the goal setter call in Pay It Forward. I believe, so that's 12/27. So that's,
and I wasn't stressing about coming to the team call because I just have given up control. I've given up control and I've said, you know what? My life is huge. My purpose is huge. It is so much bigger than anything I have control over. So why the heck am I sitting here stressing myself out, trying to fix everybody or trying to pull everybody along or trying to organize or trying to do this? Why not just enjoy the season that I'm in? And that's taken me a long time to get here. And I feel like it's a combination of the books I've been reading and what I've heard from people. But guys, you have to grow, you have to experience growth, you have to transition, and then you will have freedom. And I feel like I'm talking freedom in your heart, I'm talking freedom with your kids and with your relationship and the feeling of free. And I know, like, you're like, oh, I know. Yes, financial freedom and time freedom and all the things that we talk about. But when we were young, we used to dream, right? We used to dream really, really big. I don't know, did anybody have an outlandish dream of being an astronaut? Because I did it. I was like, I am 100% going to be an astronaut. Or being a lawyer. To me, that's outlandish now because I'm like, oh God, I don't like to read that much. I mean, I love to read, but I can't finish a book. Like, I can't even remember like my kid's name. How am I going to remember law or something like that? So for me, that was crazy. And then I had a big dream of being in the Army because I just like those type of workouts. I'm not kidding. As like a young child, I was like, I want to be in the Army. And I now like, oh no, peace, man. I could never be in the Army. Like, get away from me. And so we have these huge, huge dreams. And somewhere along the way, we are shut down. Someone tells us that we're not good enough. Someone tells you that you're not smart enough to be a lawyer, or that, guess what, you probably won't pass the physical test to be an astronaut because they're grueling and you're just not good enough. Or you can't be in the Army, you're a girl. We have these huge dreams, and slowly, day by day, year by year, person by person, we let them go. And whether they're crazy or whether they're your final dreams or your God dreams or your full purpose dreams or whatever they are, we allow ourselves as kids to dream huge dreams. And then when I come across adults and I talk to people every day I'm talking to people, whether it's behind the scenes, my hairdresser, it doesn't matter. And I ask them, well, what do you want to do outside of this? What do you want to do outside of doing hair? What do you want to do outside of being a mom? What do you want to do outside of working a 40-hour job or a week job? What do you want to do outside of being a wife? What do you want to do outside of being a pregnant lady? What do you want to do outside of, being the homeroom school mom that just shows up and does all the things? What happens when all that stuff ends? And no, you're never not going to be a mom. You're never not going to be someone's, wife or whatever, or God only knows what happens. But what happens? Where are you? Where are you left? And I started thinking about these things, and I'm like, what were my dreams? And a lot of people will tell me, well, coaching isn't my dream. Beachbody coaching, that's not a dream. I'm like, first of all, I didn't even know it existed. Do you think it was my dream? Do you think it's my end dream? Do you think I'm like, I am going to be the best Beachbody coach in the world? I'm like, no. Do I love it? Yes. Is it amazing? Yes. But it is a huge stepping stone to what God has called me to do in serving, in connecting, in building relationships. And it is. And so when I hear from people, oh, coaching, and I'm like, coaching? I'm going to be the next Tony Robbins, but a girl. I have no problem saying that. I said it to my hairdresser the other day, and she goes, I can tell. And I was like, really? I was like, I'm not trying to be cocky. And she's like, no, I can just tell. Like, you speak with such passion. And so I want you guys to think about it. what dream do you have for yourself? Do you allow yourself to dream bigger? Do you set goals bigger than Beachbody and bigger than, just having, and I'm not saying just having kids. You guys know I have 4. I'm not saying just being a wife. You know, I'm married. I'm not saying just as in it's simple. It's nothing simple. I'm saying, what the heck are you doing for you? And are you using the tool, the vehicle that Beachbody has given you to get there? Are you using those stepping stones? Or are you pretending that they're a roadblock? Are you pretending you can't do the work? Are you pretending that you're too busy? Are you pretending that you can't get organizing? Are you pretending that you're overwhelmed? Because all of that is on you. And all of that is the enemy or the universe or whatever you want to call it sneaking in and stopping you from dreaming bigger for yourself. And when I hear these things, oh, I fear failure. I was talking to my leaders, and these are my girls that are leading these things. These are the girls that I'm like, you're what? You're like, how do you fear? What's your biggest fear? And 9 out of 10 of them said failure. I'm like, well, but you're leaders. Like, what do you mean? What are you going to, like, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't look at any of you and see a failure. I never once think like, Trace really failed me today. Like, never. But when we do these things, when we think about our dreams and we think about our goals, we're like, I don't want to let that person down, so I'm not going to do it. I can't do it because I'm too embarrassed. I don't want those people to say something about me. I don't want to speak in front of people because I might mess up. But when I look at every one of you, and it's like, if you would have told me you're a failure as a mother, we have a group and we're all chatting, we're all telling our stories about how much we suck as being a parent, just real. And we're all laughing so hard because like, oh, thank God you're right there with me. You suck just as bad as I do. But I never, ever think when Louise shares a story that Louise is a failure, or when Trisha tells a story about her kids that she's a failure. And so when we put that on ourselves, that our biggest fear is failure, or our biggest fear is being stuck, we are stopping ourselves. And so instead of saying what you fear, and instead of leaning into that, and like, oh God, no, I can't do it, or there's too much studying, or there's too much to learn about Beachbody, or there's too many things. You need to wake up and you need to let yourself grow. And this is something that I struggle with because, guys, I sign up new coaches all the time. How often do our leader call faces change? Or how often do our new coach call faces change? Or how often do our team call faces change? Not all that often. We get 1 or 2 people that choose to do something different. And I can't do anything else. I'm like, I send you a weekly email. I put you in the new coach thread. I'm commenting in the new coach thread. I'm checking in. I'm saying, I'm here. And I'm being ignored. Not because of anything I did, but because people fear failure. They fear growth. They fear that transition. They fear freedom. And at the end of us doing these things, at the end of us taking this really awesome, expensive vehicle that Beachbody gives us, if we hop in that vehicle, do the work we're supposed to do, connect with each other, our wheels start turning. Look at Energy is Life a few years ago has just turned into Mind, Body, Soldier. Now we are training warriors. We are training people to step up and work on all areas of their life. I don't have a PD package to sell people. Like, that's not part of the game plan. It's like, look what we can do for you if you lean in. Look what you can do for yourself. And you don't have to do it alone. Like, we are called to do this in relationship and community. Like, every time that you're struggling, the first thing that every single one of you do, myself included, is step back. You stop talking to people, you stop showing up on the calls, you stop showing up in the threads, and you think no one notices. And I'm the type of leader, and my leaders know this, I'm like, I just think you need space because I need space. So I never chase people, ever, ever, ever. Like, it's just not something that I do. And I'm like, because that's how I grew up. It's like, you need space. There are 5 of us. So if you need space and you're hiding in the closet, like, you very rarely got space. So when you run, but you always have to come back. So I'm the type of leader that's like, I'm going to be here when you come back. But I refuse to chase because that's not my job. And that's not what I was called to do. I was called to show up, and I will always be here. And I want you guys to think about this. What do you fear? What's holding you back? What do you fear? And then think about, what the hell do you love to do? What do you love to do? And how can you make that a part of your Beachbody business and your life every day? I forgot how much I love live music. I went to concerts all the time all the time in college. I mean, music got me through my crazy childhood. I used to go to sleep with those and you guys, you're all like, similar ages to me, with that massive like 5-disc changer, that you had, and it's like this tall. And I used to bump Tupac. I was telling Trisha the other day, I was like, do you know what I used to sleep to? It was Tupac's Greatest Hits for like 5 years of my life. I used to put that on, and it used to soothe me. Didn't know I had ADHD till last month. I don't know how. I was trying to go to sleep to gangster rap. And that makes sense now, because I'm like, oh, cool. So, but I want you guys, think about that. I went to a concert with my son the other night, and I was rejuvenated. I was ignited. I felt the fire pour over me, and I was like, holy crap. I haven't been making time for me. I have been chasing, doing. And and yes, self-care. I do my workouts. That's just a no-brainer now. That's something we need to do. If you aren't doing that, there is nothing I can do to help you. You have your Beachbody on-demand prescription? What the heck? Subscription. Every scription out there except for subscription. You have that. You have the group of support. You need to show up. You need to show up. Like, you have one body. My kids even are talking to me and like, Mom, I don't understand why people don't take care of themselves. Don't they get sick? And I'm like, yeah, they do. They go, well, why wouldn't they want to work out? Because people would rather watch TV? I don't know, buddy. I used to be that way. Well, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, well, then that's why it's our job to remind people that no, it doesn't make sense, that you can make 30 minutes a day, that you will get diabetes or cancer or something, and you might get it anyways. But at least do something to prevent it. And at least train your kids up, and your nieces and your nephews and whoever you come in contact with, that it is important to take care of you. And that has everything to do with finding something that you love outside of this, outside of your kids, and I know it's not easy, especially when you have lots of little ones. Oh my God, it's so difficult to find alone time. But if it's reading a book or reading like a trashy novel or something, I don't care. What is it that like just warms your soul? What is it? And it might take a little experimenting. It might. And I know I can't go out to live music. I don't want to be at a bar. I'm like, I'm in bed by 8 o'clock. I can't be going to live music every day. But I need to, now I know, I'm like, oh, I need to do that quarterly. I can manage that quarterly. I need to schedule that in just like I would schedule in a spa day or something, because spa days are great. Live music fills my soul. So I want you guys to think about this. What do you fear? How is it holding you back? Okay. How are you going to change that for the year of transition, which is 2019? We are transitioning into where our freedom is. Like, we grew hard this year. We grew really hard. We grew and we're stretched in ways that we can't even imagine in 2018. I'm like looking back, like, that was only 1 year. It felt like 10. Like, 2018 felt like a really long time. It was a great year of growth. We came together as a tribe closer than we've ever been. We've never worked like this before. We've never, ever, ever been this close as a tribe before. And if you're not feeling that connection, plug in and get connected. Because it's not clicky. I love when people say that. It's like, oh, well, things are clicky. And I'm like, that's the enemy. No one's clicky. You could literally reach out and be like, hi, I'm lonely. Can we hang out? I'm like, I can't come over. We live 6,000 miles apart, but you can Zoom with us. Like, here's this Zoom. Here's that. Or we have a Marco Polo. Or, hey, we hop on a workout. Or I need to work out right now. Are you free? It's all about communication. It's all about getting over your fear and getting outside of your own head. And it's all about doing the things that we're telling other people to do, which is show up. Show up, build community, build relationships, share that with others. And this season's going to be busy, you guys. We are just coming up to Christmas. The next, not even season, you guys. The next few weeks are going to be pure chaos. So you're probably thinking, well, what the hell can I do? I don't want to start anything right now. No, but you can start thinking. You can start planning. You can check that email that I sent, and I think I only got 2 or 3 back, which I still haven't responded, but I did read them, and I love you guys for sending those. But check that email and start writing down your goals for 2019. How do you want your life to look? One of the questions on there was, what does your perfect day look like? And it might just be sitting and staring at your beautiful baby, and that's good too, because God knows if I could have like just 14 minutes to stare at Sweet Liam without someone interrupting, I would pay big money for that because that is a huge thing for me because that phase is only going to be so long. And that is, God willing, my last baby, my very last sweet, sweet baby, because 4 kids is a lot. So I want you guys, that's your focus. What's your fear? How are you going to overcome it? And I want you to think of one thing that you freaking love to do. And you need to plan it in the next month. And I know travel, you like to travel, great. Well, you can afford to travel. Okay, but can you go for a road trip for a day? Can you be spontaneous? When did spontaneity leave the building? When did we stop just being fun and excited and crazy? Like, when did we stop doing that? I don't know. When people tell me I talk too fast, I used to be offended. And I'm like, yeah, I talk fast because I'm excited about being alive. What if I was dead? I wouldn't be talking at all. You know, like, be excited every freaking day. And my husband's like, well, you know, and if I'm not talking, he's like, is everything okay? I'm like, no, I'm recharging, back up. Like, because I guess I'm an extroverted introvert, so I need to, like, I'd be alone to recharge real quick. Doesn't need to be long, like 5 seconds, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, honestly, I need you guys to think about that. Okay, so what do we feel? Let me go back to my notes. That was a long tangent. I don't think I talked about anything on here, but God just fills my cup, and was like, this is what everyone needs to hear. Okay, so what do we fear? What do we fear? Fear of failure is bullshit, and what's worse than failing? Oh, I love this. I did have good notes. How about never reaching your true potential because you were scared to change, scared of judgment, scared of hard work? How about how about living this life? This is what scares the shit out of me. How about living this life and never knowing what your true purpose was? Did that scare anybody? Like, what was my real reason for being here? What if I didn't do it? There's a shit ton of people that don't do it. I don't want to be one of those people. That scares me more than failure. It scares me that I would waste the one chance I get just not trying. If I just didn't try, that's scary. Like, and I mean, trying isn't going to the same job day after day that you hate. Trying isn't just doing the bare minimum. Trying isn't just doing what normal people do. Since when is normal cool? Like, I remember I used to want to wear the, like, what is it, Abercrombie, or just the regular, nothing against those clothes, but I thought, oh, I just want to fit in so bad. I just want to fit in. Let me fit in. Let me fit in. And I've never wanted to stand out more in my life than I do now. I don't want to fit in. I don't want any of us to fit in. We don't fit in. We shouldn't fit in. We weren't created to fit in. There's one of us made, and we are uniquely made to share this glory that God gave us with everybody else. Whether you believe it or not, like, I probably have a doppelganger, but they are not as cool as me. I think I'm amazing. Like, and I think I'm the funniest person I know. Like, you guys should think you're the funniest people you know. You're not telling more bad jokes, tell more bad jokes. Because guess what? You're going to laugh at yourself. And more laughter is great. We need more laughter in the world. So I want you guys to, this is our focus. I have it all in bold over the next few weeks, because there's going to be tons of people that fall off. There's going to be tons of people that quit and say, I can't do this. There's going to be tons of people that need our stories. They need our stories, our struggles, that we are not perfect. And I'm not reading the comments. I love you guys, but I'm reading it after. So we need to focus on sharing our stories. Sharing our stories. Christmas brings up so many memories. Open that box. Share. What does Christmas mean to you? How does preparing for Christmas? What does gifts mean to you? Like, gift giving is huge for me, because my mom, we never had any money. And around Christmas time, she would just flood the entire living room with gifts. And now I know how she did it, which was awful. But she didn't steal, but she would max out a credit card because she couldn't give us anything at all throughout the year. She had no extra money. And as crappy as maybe I thought my mom was a lot of the time or whatnot, Christmas is my mom's season. She would do anything to give us, and she thought, gifts, like material things. And it's funny because now I'm like, I want to give things, but I'm like, ooh, I don't want my kids to think it's all about things. We just didn't know. But it doesn't mean it's a bad connection. It means it makes me look at my mom in a whole different light, that she wanted to do everything in her power to give us this one special thing, because she couldn't give it to us all year long because she had no money. So it didn't matter. She would max out $5,000 credit card for one day to see that look in our eyes. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty special. And so that's why I get my love of giving things. And I would go broke giving things because it means so much. So changing that perception, how does that look? What does that mean to me? Do I have to stop giving completely, or how can I give differently? Sharing all these little bits of your story are going to open up and have someone else say, I didn't get a lot growing up either, but my parents made Christmas really special. That's going to get people to allow them to, in your world, to know, love, and trust you. That's the whole goal, so that you can help them change their lives, not to sell them a challenge pack. That will come. Trust me. Guys, you'll make sales. Like, that should happen. It's just like the normal. When you stay in the business and you invite and you follow up, that happens. It's the storytelling and the sharing that builds a relationship and builds the tribe. And so I want you guys to focus on sharing your story. I want you to study. I want you to learn. If there's something you don't know about Beachbody, or you're unsure, or you never finished a new coach training, or you're struggling in a certain area, reach out, post on the team page, and ask for help. If you're struggling, guess what? I started doing 10-minute power pocket calls with my leaders, or even little Marco Polo chats with my leaders. If you guys want to do a little Marco Polo, because the 10-minute calls, I suck at them, because my kids always interrupt. But I was like, you know what? For the hard times, let's do a little Marco Polo. It's a little video ad. Send me your struggle. So Susan sends it every Thursday. Michelle sends it every Thursday in Marco Polo. Awesome. I can do that. And then I can get back to her when I can. It's a short, sweet, I'm struggling with this. Or, hey, I have some conversations I want you to just look at. Sure. Snapshot them. Email them to me. Guys, I'm willing to help, but you need to tell me you need help. And that's what I want. There's no standard. Yeah, thank you. There's no standard of well, I'm not here yet, so Jack doesn't want, or I haven't earned SC10, so Jack doesn't want to talk to me. It's all made up stuff in your brain. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. So make sure that you're looking at your fears and you're telling yourself 2019, that is not going to be you. And then you're looking at what you love and you're saying 2019, there's going to be more of that. And then you're looking at the season right in front of us and saying, all right, I'm going to share. I'm going to open up. I'm going to connect. And I'm going to focus on what really matters is the people, and pouring into people and adding value and figuring out what aspect of coaching do you want to do right now. Do you want to just pour into free groups? You have to know that's okay. You can do that. But if you're not following up and transitioning them into paid clients, it's okay, but you're not going to earn an income. And if that is okay with you, don't walk away and quit in 6 months and say, well, I didn't earn any money. Well, you've never tried to transition people over into paid clients. Just know that you can use multiple avenues in this business. Just come up with a game plan. Come up with a content calendar, which is literally just planning out your month. Okay, Transform 20 comes out on this month, so this week I need to be posted about it 3 times. This week I need to post about it 4. I want to post about workouts. I want to post about this. Just write down a calendar. So, okay, we have 3 minutes left. Let me read it. Marco Polo, you guys! Oh my gosh. Just download it, free app. It's really cool. And please add me because I want to see your first Marco Polo when you're like, oh my God, I didn't know it's a video. Shoot, how do I stop it? I feel like everybody has one of those and I love them. Please send me one. Okay, does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments? Do you want to snap a photo right quick? I don't know where Jane is. Janie down there. Hold on. Oh, I don't know if I'm doing it right.
I know. We have to look at her kissing her fiance this whole call. Bye, Jane.
Sorry. I'm actually
Is he in?
Because he's on his way here in like an hour. So I'm trying to squeeze in a workout too.
Cleaning, squeezing in a workout. Perfect. Well, I'm glad we have to steal you. Okay, everybody look. Wait. Okay, ready? Say cheese. I always look like I'm going to fall off my chair. Whatever, at least we got it. Okay. Anybody have anything to add? We have 2 minutes left. I know I didn't leave much time, but I was clearly passionate about speaking to these things to you guys because they're so important.
And
so important.
Confession. I apparently hit pause at the beginning of the call. So I don't think any of what I talked about recorded, but everything that you talked about recorded. So the important stuff was recorded. So if you have questions about the housekeeping stuff, or I don't know if because you can't go back when I post this, it's not recorded. Whoops.
That's okay. Mainly housekeeping is go to the Guns and Buns page, look at the announcement, watch that video. And then for any team calls, go to all the events. Yeah, go to all the events sections on the team pages and just write down what calls you want to be on and set a reminder on your phone. That's all I do. I'm like, it's super simple. It feels like it's like this, but if you go in and take control of like that aspect of the planning, that's why I say plan every week. I plan every week. I sit down on Sunday, I write every day down. What am I going to do? What calls am I going to be on? Boom, nailed it. And most of the calls don't really change days. They're always the first and third Tuesday of the month. That's this one. And then Wednesdays is Ignites at 4 p.m. Pacific. Like, go to the event section. Kim and I are also doing is that 100 Days to Brave? Where's Elizabeth? There she is. Yay! Oh, I love that you're doing it with her. Yes. So we have lots of good. Kim. Liz, will you post that on the team page as well? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, guys, have a fabulous night. Have a Merry Christmas. I love you all, and I'm so happy that we are kicking off 2019 together. We're going to nail it. So whatever that looks like. All right, bye, guys. Have a great night.